For decades, Iowa has been a state of political upheaval and history-changing events, and tonight seems to be no different for Governor DeSantis. Only a few weeks after Iowa Senator Joni Ernst condemned all protests in support of Palestine on college campuses, University of Iowa students and Iowa City members have come to the Pentecrest in support of Gaza. I'm here at the Greenhouse Cafe for Laura Burgess' watch party, where supporters and friends alike are excited for the votes to start rolling in. The Brewery Square was once home to bootleggers of the Prohibition era, and now it is home to the next generation of Iowa City artists. I'm here at the Healing Prairie Farm, 20 acres of land dedicated to helping youths in crisis by allowing them to work with farm animals. Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? Because we are in a winter wonderland, and I'm going to have the full forecast in weather.
Jayce, what did these Hawkeyes gain from this unique training?
Well, Jordan, our Hawkeyes are already making history by being part of the first Big Ten Women's Wrestling Conference, but by training with a team from Ukraine, they're joining another part of history. I'm here at the Iowa Raptor Project, where staff and volunteers are working towards next steps after a devastating fire last Friday. Here at the Iowa State Fairgrounds in Des Moines, Build My Future is working with over a dozen businesses and schools to get students interested in the trades.
Really what we know is that there is going to be sort of a cliff when it comes to the trades. We have many people in that line of work who are approaching retirement, and construction in our community is not slowing down anytime soon.
But how are industries working to bring the younger generation right into the workforce? Some would prefer to have them be certified and trained, while others want to have them fresh out of school. And with mixed reactions coming from both sides of the aisle, it seems that the decision on abortion will ultimately fall upon voters this November. And now I'm going to send it back to Kara and Jordan in the studio. For many Halloween fans, haunted houses are a staple of the season, giving people like Kevin Schultz a responsibility to deliver.
And my dream was to build a bigger, better, badder haunted house. And this was the basis for it. And we figured out how to build a haunted house that everybody loves, that's safe for everybody. And we help build other haunts and encourage other haunters to join this too.
While the main goal of these attractions is to scare visitors, there is an underlying sense of community and passion to be found all around.
When you have passion to love, it's not a business, it's something that you love that turns into a business. Then it draws people because that passion you have in you will grow and spread.
I don't know, I just kind of found out that I could do it. Like, I could work here and I could scare other people. And I was like, I have to do that. And then I did it for the first time last year, and it's been one of my favorite things ever since then.
Ever since I was a little kid, I've always been into, like, horror, Halloween. Here I am 17 years later, I'm the head of Chainsaw Alley.
I just kind of started coming out here and there, and then, yeah, he was like, you gotta come out and we're on the front end. You gotta come out and help with the front end. So he wore me down, so I started.
For Heart of Darkness, this community is one of the main driving forces behind the attraction.
We could not have done this without the people of the Cedar Valley. We couldn't do this without the people of Iowa. I could have never done this, could have never made my horrible nightmare dreams of the Heart of Darkness come to life without everybody who's been involved.
Kevin's a longtime friend of mine. This is year number 20 for me, so I enjoy doing it. Been out here all that time and just having fun. Love it.
Of course, talk is cheap, and the only way to know how scary an attraction is to experience it firsthand. And that's why we are here at the Heart of Darkness haunted house attraction in Waterloo. And Avery, I was originally supposed to go through, but our videographer, Dravin, had much funnier reactions. So how do you feel about going through with our videographer instead of me?
I'm a little nervous, Jayce, I'll be totally honest, but I'm super excited. I love haunted houses, so I'm really excited to see what this one has in store, but I definitely wish you were here with us.
I'm still going through the haunted house, don't worry, they'll still be scaring me, but I'm gonna be behind the camera this time, and we're gonna have a full recap of the haunted house after this. Boasting a whopping 13 different areas, Heart of Darkness lasts up to 30 minutes, making it the longest attraction in Iowa. And Heart of Darkness will be running all throughout the Halloween season to provide scares for Halloween fans, regular people, and anyone who just enjoys a good time. From that Heart of Darkness site, this is Jayce Bertrand,
Avery Arns, DITV.
Yeah, guys, it is pretty cold outside, but luckily for me, I am in the Sky Bridge today. But if you look outside, you can see the snow coming down quite heavily. That's because it's 18 degrees outside, which means we are well below freezing. And early this morning, we were at 13 degrees. Now today we're going to see highs, if you want to call it that, of 30 degrees, and we're going to see lows of 20, but we're going to dip even lower than that going into the morning of tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to see highs of 32, and the sun's going to peek out for just a few hours, lucky for us. Now I'm going to have the full forecast for the week ahead later, but for now, back to you guys in the studio. Thanks, Johnny. There are over a dozen bars in Iowa City, but if you go into each and every one of them, you're probably going to get the same answer of what the energy is like. For tens of thousands of Iowans each year, they will find themselves in a courtroom just like this, standing trial for a criminal case. And for upwards of 80% of them, they will be using a public defender. Thanks, guys. And yeah, just a few moments from now, the polls along the west coast of the United States are going to be called, which means states like California, Oregon, and Washington are going to be added to the electoral count. And more likely than not, these states are going to go to Kamala Harris, which is going to help loosen that gap between Trump and Harris right now, because California, being the biggest state in the United States, carries around 53 electoral votes, which will be a major addition to Harris's currently 99. Now, some polls are giving her 117, some are giving her 111, some are giving her 99. And so across the polls right now, Harris is still down marginally, significantly lower than Donald Trump. But with the addition of these western states, the race might get close. A lot of races, including Nevada, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, South Carolina, these major swing states, they are currently too close to call, so it is no one knows yet as to where these states are going. States like Minnesota are also much closer than the Democrats would have hoped, given that Tim Walz was the governor of that state. Governors usually ride pretty high, pretty popular in the electoral vote. 1984 comes to mind when the governor of Minnesota, who ran against incumbent Ronald Reagan, was the only win that he got. He only won Minnesota, while Reagan won all other 49 states. Governors usually carry these major states, but right now it does not seem that Walz is carrying that excitement that most governors do. Thanks, Johnny. I'm here at the Tama Toledo Country Club, where some Hawkeyes and Cyclones are getting together to give back to the community. But as skilled workers grow older and less members of younger generations enter the workforce, the amount of available workers is continuing to shrink. However, the Homes for Iowa project is working to address this issue by building homes such as these by working with prisoners. The Johnson County Board of Supervisors has approved a $500,000 plan in order to provide affordable housing for residents in Iowa City. The county is hoping to replace air conditioning units, furnaces, water heaters, and improve waterproofing for a 15-unit apartment complex. If in case there were funds from the budget left over, officials plan to use them to refurbish the property further. I'm here right now. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Carolyn Salvador Avila, and I'm the National President of the College Democrats of America.
Perfect. We are here live right now, and so can you tell me what brought you out here to the event?
First and foremost, I am a native Las Vegan, but also just making sure that we're celebrating these final moments. I think it's going to be very close here in Las Vegas or in Nevada, but I'm very excited, especially for the youth vote as well. We've seen some record turnout on that end and very long lines at UNLV.
And so with those lines, are you seeing a lot of women, are you seeing a lot of men? What are you seeing at these lines?
Well, honestly, I think it's a mix of all. UNLV is one of the most diverse campuses across the nation, so I'm very excited to see how that plays out. I will say we've had some issues with the curing of the ballots because of the signatures for the youth votes. It is unfortunately affecting younger votes and votes for the people of color, but we're making sure that everybody is aware that they needed to sign with the exact same signature that they had on their IDs and that they're curing their ballots.
And so are you seeing, what big issues are bringing people to the polls here in Las Vegas?
First and foremost, I say a very big one is gun violence prevention because of what happened here less than a year ago on December 6th at UNLV, as well as October 1st, just a few years back. That's something that I think unites our communities, regardless of Democrat or Republican. Both parties feel a need to have progress on that issue.
Thanks, guys. And yeah, I'm here with my brand new best friend, Shamrock, and sorry for everyone at home. Me and him had a lot of playtime beforehand, so he's a little bit sleepy right now. But as you can see, this is one of the sweetest dogs to possibly exist in Iowa City right now. He is just about 2 years old, and he is a Pit Bull Terrier mix. And despite his breed, he is just the most lovable, cuddly guy I have ever met. He's sitting in my lap right now. All he wants to do is cuddle and love someone. Now, he is still a bit of a pup. He's a bit excited. He has this wicked tail of his. So the shelter does request that people with children maybe have older children if they're looking at Shamrock, just so no one gets hurt with his happy tail. But otherwise, he just loves to play and run around, and he's still a pup. He's still new to this whole owner thing, but in just the time we've had together, he's already learned how to sit and cuddle with me, so I think he'll be just fine. Now, the Iowa City Animal Shelter has a few dogs also looking for adoption, and they are flooded with up to their ears and nose with cats, so if you're looking for a feline friend this Christmas, they are looking for adoptees as well for that. They also have some guinea pigs, but if you're not looking to adopt and you still want to help out the animal shelter, they're looking for blankets, food, monetary donations, just anything you can give to give back to the Iowa City Animal Shelter. Now we're going to send it back to the studio, but from the Iowa City Animal Shelter, this is Jayce and Shamrock.